it's only really been recently that I've been reflecting on the person I was when I walked into the room with Dr. Roger Mills on the first day of that 3 Principles course to the person I am today. And it was through these reflections I remembered the girl that I was. I was always feeling sick and uncomfortable, and always had aches and pains that I talked about and worried about, and would go and see the doctors about, and as well as my eating disorders and giving that a lot of thought. I really didn't feel very healthy. And I've realised that I still sometimes feel sick, I still sometimes get aches and pains, but the difference for me now is that I don't give it so much attention. And I trust that I will, if something is really wrong with me, I know what to do to go and sort it out. I'll either go and see a doctor or I'll do something. So I'm not as worried about these physical symptoms that I had before. And through the act of not focusing on them and talking about them and worrying about them, they seem to have got less and less and less. So even when it comes to if I've hurt my back, if I'd hurt my back pre-Principles, that's all I would talk about. How bad my back was, how much it hurt, what could I do about it, and I'd be uncomfortable with it. And that would be my experience constantly. My back hurts, my back hurts, my back hurts. Whereas now I can hurt my back and I can be uncomfortable, but I can still be in life and experience other things. I can experience a conversation or a movie, or I'm just not as obsessed with my own discomfort. And through understanding the nature of thought, that what we think comes to life. So the more I think about my pains and my aches and all the things that were wrong with me, the more I felt them. So it's not to say that we don't have physical pains that are uncomfortable, but the more we focus on them, the greater they will seem. And I remember when I was 21, I was lucky enough to go travelling in the jungles in Brazil and Bolivia, and I came home with a parasite, which was a flesh-eating parasite. So I had this patch on my foot that was just being eaten away, and it was incredibly painful.
The time she was back in England, her foot was in serious trouble.
And just tell us what the problem is that
Dr. Charles Woodrow at the Hospital for Tropical Diseases took a look.
How long has that been there overall, do you think, now?
I started off with a little red lump there, which I had for a couple of months, and then it sort of got dry, and then it sort of looked like a little scab.
The doctors did a biopsy of the bite. They diagnosed that Jenny was suffering from leishmaniasis, a disease caused by the leishmania parasite.
On top of that, I got, I think there was 2 or 3 secondary infections because they hadn't been treated soon enough. And I couldn't sleep through the pain. But what I found interesting was that if there was a really good movie I wanted to watch, for that hour and a half, I wasn't experiencing the pain. And I know it hadn't gone anywhere because there was still these parasites eating away at my foot, but I wasn't experiencing the pain. And as soon as the movie was over, I'll be back in my head and back at my foot. My foot really hurts. And again, it was intense and overwhelming. So I've got more of a sense now of the direction my thinking is going in is what I'm going to feel, is what I'm going to experience. So I haven't had to consciously start to ignore certain thoughts or try and think differently. I've become aware of the nature of thought, that I can have a thought that I feel uncomfortable, but I don't then need to go, I feel really uncomfortable, oh my God, I'm so bad. I don't go down that road anymore. I just let them flow through. And I experience something different. With every new thought, I experience something different. So, yeah, I have limited understanding of the physical being in terms of the principles, but from my experience, that's what I've seen. That the less I focus on what I think is wrong and what hurts, the less it's present in my life. I think the only other example is not so much physical pain, but it's the physical body. And I can go out for a meal feeling quite comfortable with my figure and feeling quite slim, looking quite good. I can go for a huge curry, stuff myself, eat way too much. I can come home and I can look in the mirror and I've put on at least a stone or 2 stone. Like, when I look in the mirror, that is what I see. I am bigger everywhere, and I can't believe that 1 curry could actually do that. And then I go to bed, I wake up the next day, and amazingly it's disappeared again. And I know that 1 curry could not make me put on that much weight in that short period of time, but to look in the mirror, that is what I see. And that's interesting to me. That shows me the power of my thinking in terms of what I am seeing. So that was just another attempt at looking at physical health.